and welcome to the first of our card and Cuppas in April 2026. My name is Fiona Whitten, and today I'm going to share with you a card that I took with me to the Card and Cuppa event this morning, and then I'm also going to share the kit and the and make a second card myself. So just bear with me a second. I am just making sure that this is going out live, and it is, which is good. So right, without further ado, so happy 1st of April. This is not April Fool's. This is really the card that we made this morning, or the sample that I took with me this morning. So it looks like this. So there was a bit of fussy cutting going on, and we had lots of otters, which I think are really, really sweet. So this is some old double-sided paper that I had from Stampin' Up from a while back. So I've got otters on the front, and I've got an otter on the front, sorry, and an otter on the inside. And these came on a sheet. And then this was another piece of the paper from the same pack. So this is what it looks like. Various bits are being popped up on dimensionals, and then there's also a little copper brass dragonfly. So that's what we're aiming for. And I had enough paper left to put some on the envelope as well. So, right, so the kit. So this was the kit that everybody received this morning. So as always, an envelope, a base card. So there's a white base card. This was already pre-cut and scored, so I just simply had to fold it and then use my bone folder. And then what I did was these three pieces actually started life, as you can see, as a quarter sheet of A4. So this together is the exact same size as a card front. So it's 10.5 by 14.9. And then what I did was I carefully measured same distance from that point to the side and to the edge, and then similarly again from that, and then simply cut it on a diagonal. This piece we don't actually use, so I'm going to put that to one side, but these two triangles we do. So they got that and that. They also got a circle, which was die cut using the stylish shape dies. There was, everybody had different otters. So what was in this kit are these two otters, which I have already fussy cut out because I figured you guys don't want to sit there and watch me fussy cutting these two out, because it would have been a bit time consuming. There's also a 3 centimetre by 15.5 centimetre, no, 30.5, sorry, centimetre piece of double-sided paper, which comes, as I said, comes from that same pack as that. And then there are also two pieces of Lost Lagoon, which are 1 centimetre by 21. So basically it's the short side, and then you just cut one centimetre strips. So there's two of them. And that was the kit. Oh, and there should also be a dragonfly. Looks like mine might have just gone astray. Everybody did get a dragonfly, so luckily I have some spare. But hey, right. So without further ado, I'm going to share how we made this card. And it is actually quite simple. The reason this is so long is, well, it's 3 centimetres, then it's the whole width, length, whatever you want to do, of the square 12 by 12 paper. And what you want to make sure that you're doing is that you put the point, so we want the paper to go from the bottom left to the top right. So it would go like that. And to make sure it's even, I literally just turned the paper upside down and put the point so that it was in the centre of that edge, and then you want the other point to be in the centre of the paper. And you can glue this one of two ways. You can either put a strip on the card, or you can just put some on the paper. And that's all I'm going to do, is just simply, now this is a new pot of glue, new thing of glue, so it should, this is where it's going to come out like nobody's business. Oh, great. Right, let's try. Use my pokey tool, see if I can get any out that way. It's probably got a little bit of dried glue inside. Let's see. There you go, I told you it would come out really fast. I'm just going to use this piece to actually spread it. I could use my finger, but I don't particularly want to get glue everywhere. So I'm just going to put that on here. Like that. Now I've got glue all over my fingers, but hey ho. And I've now got glue all over the paper. I'm using my grid paper, so I'm going to use that to just, there we go. You can't see that, not really. So make sure that your fold is on the left hand side, or actually in this case on the top now. And just place that, because I've used the wet glue so that I've got a bit of wiggle room, she says. So I want that to go in the centre, like that, and that to go in the centre, like that. Or as close to the centre as I can get it. And I'm going to then trim this piece off. Because I want to use that in a minute to decorate the inside of my card. I just trim off the excess. Set that aside, as I said, for the glue to dry. There we go. So you can do this varying widths so long as you make sure that that measurement and that measurement are the same as that measurement and that measurement. So I could have done it wider. It was just by chance that I decided I was going to do it as 2 centimetres. Which that's 2.5. That's 2 and that's 2.5. Okay. And then that gave me, I think it was a 3 centimetre piece. Yes. So depending on what length of, not length, width of this you want. So you can play around with that and just use, sorry, I've got some glue on here. I'm just going to get that off quickly before I end up sticking my card to it. Good old glue eraser. That's that. Okay, so that's on. So that was the first thing I needed to do. Next, first of all, make sure that I've got these the right way round. And I want to glue this piece to the back of that. So I can either use glue or I could use tape. And that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm going to cheat and use some tear tape because it's just a bit quicker. Of course, if you use the tear tape, it does mean that you don't have any wiggle room on it. I just want to make sure that that's on there properly. Excess off. that bit off. Now I don't want all of this showing. I mean, you can, if you make it really wide, this level of cardstock, then you're going to see less of this. So I just want it to be a little over halfway. I'll try and peel this off. It will come off. So that's just going to go, and I'm not also going to put that right on the end because I want to make sure that I do cut off the right piece. So this could go there or there. It doesn't make any difference. But what I do want to make sure is that I'm actually cutting the right bits off. So that will go on there. This piece will be trimmed right across there, and that piece will be trimmed down there. And I'm going to do exactly the same with the other piece, making sure that I do put it on the right portion of the card. So I want it on that long piece there, on that long side. Actually, this piece that's left from that first one, so I can make use of that, which is already nicely cut there. Get rid of that glue. Trim that like so, and then I'm going to do exactly the same again. I've got my my strip of Lost Lagoon. Peel off this backing. Like so. That. So that's going to go on here. Again, try and get it sort of equal width there. So that's going to go there, like that. So I'm going to glue this on. Make sure that this is the right way around. So that is that piece, that's that piece. And you just want to make sure that this corner fits neatly into that corner. So you're just going to line it all up along the bottom and along the side, like that. And then you're going to do exactly the same with the other piece. So again, some glue on the strip, and again you're going to line the corner up together like so, and then down the side and along the top. So once those are glued on, you can then trim off these excess pieces. Sometimes it's easier to do it from the back. And get a neater finish then. And this bit needs to come off as well. So it's a fairly simple card to put together. And you can have fun with different coloured cardstock, different paper, different images. Just so happens that I had a lot, I'll say a lot, I didn't have a lot of this otter paper left. I had a bit, but not much. But enough to make, I think I made 12 kits, because I had a few go in the post, and then there was 11 of us today, including me, and I wasn't making a card. So there we go. So that's that. Now I've got my circle. So I said that was die cut using the, as I said, stylish shape dies. And then I have my otters. Now I need to decide which otter I want in on the front and what I want in the middle. So I think I'm going to put them on the front. So that's fine, but I also need to put a sentiment on here. So and you can put this wherever you want. I mean, you could put it right up here. I decided to put mine sort of fairly central. I'm going to have them sort of low on it. And then I'm going to have my dragonfly there. And then I've got this nice white space there that I can put a sentiment on. So the one that went this morning has just a simple happy birthday. I did take a selection of stamps with me. So I've got my Uninco ones, which are these nice small little sentiments. So that's got missing you, anniversaries, wedding days, sorry, hugs and kisses, and then this one's got birthday, celebrate today, and just a note, get well soon. So whatever you want. So there's those. I just simply said, I quite like the hello in this. Let's see how big it is. So this is, so I think that would go quite nicely, because not every card has to be a birthday card. So I'm going to use that one. Now I used Lost Lagoon ink. Use this because it's quite a tall stamp. I used Lost Lagoon ink on the original, but this paper's got, this is Pretty Peacock. It's got some greys, all sorts of colours in, so you could do whatever colour you want. I think I'm just going to stick with, I'm going to try this in Pretty Peacock, and if it doesn't, if I make a bit of a mess of it, then my own fault. I'll make sure that that is the right way up, yep. See how that stamps, that's okay. Try and get that straight. Put the hello on straight. It's going to go there. Like that. Close the ink so I don't end up putting my elbow in it, which would not be good. And then I want to get my foam pads. I'm going to start by putting the circle on. And I'm going to use up some of these. I'm going to use that one here. And these pieces on here. It doesn't have to be too exact when it comes to putting the foam pads on, so long as you can't see them when it's the right way up. So you keep it within the confines of the whatever it is that you're sticking on. So that's going to go here. Now this is, oops, I'm not using that one, I'm using this one. So this one is going to go on here, and don't need it quite there. Don't want it to stick to the back of the card there. So I'm just going to make sure that what I'm putting on, where I'm putting it on, is good for that point of view. So I don't need to put, I'll put some up his body, but not necessarily on in his head or on his head. to support his body, and then I need to support his back and a little bit of his tail and his head. So back, head. So I think I'll put it the other way. Make sure that that's on. I think that is okay actually. And then we can just put this on. This is going to be probably, I was going to say it's probably going to be quite a quick card because I've done all the fussy cutting. The fussy cutting took me a good 10 minutes to do both of those. And as I said, I didn't think you'd want to sit and watch me do that, so hence in good old Blue Peter fashion I did here's one I've a bit prepared earlier. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups. So their three are going to go on here, like that. That. Let's remember that's there to hide the glue. So that's my front of my card, with the exception of the dragonfly. This is the piece to use on the inside and on the envelope. So I'm just going to quickly put a little guillotine. Oops. I know it's 3 centimetres wide, so I'm just going to cut it literally in half at 1.5. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to do it like that. So that's a bit thicker. So the thinner piece can go on the envelope. This is going to go in the envelope, just on here, like so. And again, I'm just going to glue it and then I'll cut it. And I'm not going to put it straight to the side. I will do it top and bottom, but I'm going to leave a little white gap on the left hand side. That's that bit done. I'm going to glue this on the inside of the card. Again, I'm going to leave a bit of a gap, I think. Going to go on here. Make sure that when you put it on the inside that you're not going over that crease. Then if you do, you won't be able to close the card. So do check that your card will close without any resistance. And then again, I'm going to just trim that excess off. And we're nearly done. So I've got a little bit to do. I'm going to add the otters, so they're going to go on there. Oops. Glue. Let's close that up. We're going to go on there just to finish off the inside, like so. So that's the inside of the card. The front of the card almost finished. I just need to add the dragonfly. Again, these are some old dragonflies and bird things that I've had for a few years actually. So I'm just going to put one on here, just to give it a little bit of something extra. So that is it. So it's surprising, same kit, slightly different images, and not slightly different, they are different images, and you come up with 2 different cards and a different sentiment in a different colour. So that's one card and that's the other card. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing those. As I said, this you can make any width, just so long as it's sort of equal going across from point to point. And then obviously you can stamp images, you can fussy cut images out, or if you've got a coordinating die to go with the paper, then obviously you can use those. So I hope that's given you some ideas, and see you in 2 weeks for the second of our card and the Cuppas. And in the meantime, happy Easter. Have a good bank holiday weekend. Take care. Bye.